I'm going to work on a steal script. Particularly, this one's going to be stealing items. So I've got just a template script here. I've given it a name, given it a header. I've got some example parameters and commands that I might use later. All of this is just template code. So yeah, I've not really thought about it much. Where do I start? So to steal, what are we going to need? I guess we start off with some kind of way of stealing. So let's just say steal. I've got some ideas to do more steal scripts in the future, like um, stealing beneficial buffs and stuff off enemies. So I'll just call it steal for now, but essentially this is steal items. Um, no, maybe I can have steal and then just go for like steal all or something. Steal item, steal all items. So we need some enemies. Just a goblin. So how do we tell what we can steal here? I guess an easy way would be having the data class, but as a letter. So I for item, W for weapon, A for armor, and G for gold. I think that's the way I saw it in a really old steal script. And it makes sense to just do it like that as well. So we'll say steal G. Say I've got 100 gold. Steal I7 for potion. Steal um, weapon 5 and armor 6 maybe. Weapon 5, steal A6. Alright, so when we create the game enemy, where is that? Start, maybe the battle manager instead. Init members. Oh, game troop setup. That'll be the one. There you go. This enemies. Yep. For each member of the troop members, we are setting them up and then pushing them in there. game enemy. Okay, it's maybe in here somewhere. So let's just take these up in here. Um, you know what? Because this already has a call and then just run setup immediately, I think I'll just use setup here. So I think it should be fine just to call this and then run my own code, which will be something to do with gathering up steel items. Let's just add game enemy. Um, so I need to do a match all. Regular expression, match all. Get their notes. Let's console log this just to see what we've got access to. Maybe I need to do data enemies and then this dot enemy ID, something like that. Okay, way too much, way too much. I've probably just not added the script. Yep, there we go. Right, so now when I run, I should expect to see something. There we go. So that was what we needed. We have access to the note, which is what we want. So let's say matches equals say const data enemy is equal to this thing. Is it match all? Okay. Promise. Request. Is that not the right thing? Let's see. I'm just running it through AI, just asking it for regular expression and checking how to do all matches. Well, I don't really believe it, but this is what it's telling me. Let's just put in um, const steal item regular expression. Okay, so yep, this is a steal item tag. Each of the letters we want. This is to is that a space? Okay, that's closer to what I was looking for. Yeah, I think this is maybe for space. So this catches the letter, this catches the number, and this is maybe just any amount of white space in between. Yeah. So it matches, and then it uses the spread operator in an array to match all for the regular expression. So we'll grab the note, up in there, and then we'll use the right, so that gives us all the matches, and we can, you know what, let's do for match of matches, and that lets us look through the values. And then I think it will be match one will be data class, and match 2 for the ID. But I should probably double check that just in case I've got it wrong. Nothing, huh? No matches? Oh, I bet I called it something different. Just steal. You know what? I should let's go for it. Let's call it steal item. Okay, so it's looping through. Yeah, so 1 is the data class and 2 is going to be the ID or the amount. And then 0 is the whole line that we've caught. All right, so let's do, I guess it'll be this, steal items equals empty array. And then we can start chucking in some objects here. Add steal item, data class, and then ID. Do this steal items dot push, and we're just going to make a new object, and we'll say data class is data class, and then no, we can just do that if we're going to keep the if you have the same variable name and the same what would you call that? Yeah, the same sort of key, object key or name, and then the variable name. If these are the same, you don't need to have it typed out like that. You can just do that. And then we can also just have remove steal item. Maybe we'll do that by index. Steal items, and maybe just delete at the index if we're allowed to. And for debugging's sake, let's just print out in the console the list. And this dot add steal item, we'll just pass in the data class and the ID. So we should see this happen twice. So we add, what is this? Oh yeah, it's because it's, weirdly enough, it's already updated this one to match the last one. So here is our first object. It has all 4 items that we added. And here is the second enemy, also has all 4 items. We'll make that special, special. Battle screen only. 1 enemy, cool. Now we need to catch when someone tries to use a steal in combat. So there'll be some kind of on enemy okay, I guess. On enemy, okay, this might be the one. We can get the action, we can try and figure out if it's a steal skill based on that. And then we can show our own window. That seems like a plan. So console.log, check for steal. Because if it's steal, we'll just go to another method, but if it's not, we'll just run this. So if we say fight, we'll use this on this. There we go, check for steal, lovely. Let's get this in a variable. That should probably be steal item. Scene battle on enemy. Okay. So we will need to get the action. Let's console log the action just to find out how we get the skill from that. And I think this stuff can go, but we'll comment it out for now. So we go steal and then that. So here we go. Item, so it's probably dot item. Probably dot item. Action dot item. Yeah, that rings a bell actually. I think that is it. So we can say and then we can check if data manager dot is skill and skill dot meta dot steal item or steal item steal all items. No, you know what? We'll just go with steal item for now. So and it is steal item. Then we will do one thing. Open the steal window. Otherwise, we will run the regular code, I guess. Yeah, we don't want to do that here. We will put in some other method. Open steal window. And we can maybe pass in the target. So we need to set the target. You know what? No. We will just get the enemy index, but we don't need to set the target yet. Game enemy. Is it game troops? How do we get something from that? Game troop. You know what? It's probably in the the lower one. It's probably in game unit rather than this. Hmm. Maybe just have to do dot members and then pass in the index. Okay. Yeah, okay. So this dot open steal window and we'll pass in the game enemy. So because we pass this in, that lets us grab the items that are available to steal off the enemy. And we can refresh the steal window and just pass that in. Else, we will just run the regular code. And then after this anyway, we'll have something like steal battle on steal item OK. And this will also just call the sort of move on, but only after we've settled on what it is we're trying to steal. Seems to be going okay so far. Nothing too surprising. What's next though? Maybe just need to create the window. The window selectable. I think I'll base off window command because that also starts with window selectable. So this is going to be window steal item. Window steal item. You know what, maybe this is a terrible idea. Maybe it should just be an item list. That already gives us everything we need to draw items to the window and select different lines and things. Window item list. We'll just take all of it. We'll take all of it and we'll just get rid of what we don't need. Okay, so window item list, and we will replace it with window steal item. So we do want to change that. We do want to change that. Yep. And the important part, we will make our base window item list. So I don't. And I don't think there's going to be any category or all if there's an all category. Max column is going to be 1. We don't need to overwrite those. You know, this only lets you steal or like, one item rather than a quantity. So you can steal a quantity of gold, but that's because it doesn't require an ID. So I guess for now I'm probably fine. I'm fine with it just having